Are you considering booking a cabin in the retreat on the Celebrity Xcel, but not sure if it's worth it? Then this video is for you. I recently set sail in a celebrity suite on the Celebrity Xcel. I'm Angie, a cruise specialist who helps travelers like you navigate all the decisions about booking your next cruise vacation. If you'd like my help in your future cruise, email Angie at tripswithangie.com and ask for the current offer for YouTube subscribers. Also, if you've just recently booked your cruise with Celebrity, I may still be able to help. So just email Angie at tripswithangie.com. Now let's talk about the retreat. When you're booking into the retreat, you're booking for three main reasons. The first reason being the most obvious, a bigger and better cabin. In this video, we're going to talk all about the Celebrity Suite and the pros and cons of that. The second perk of booking into the retreat is access to exclusive areas and services. So one is the Pre-Embarkation Lounge if you're sailing out of Fort Lauderdale. Two is the Retreat Lounge on board, the Retreat Sundeck, and Luminae. The third perk of booking into the retreat is extra service. You have a pre-arrival concierge who'll reach out to you if you have any special requests or amenities that you'd like to have in your cabin. You have a concierge and butler on board, and depending on the level of your stateroom, you may have a dedicated butler. So in the Celebrity Suite, we had a dedicated butler that we could text with via WhatsApp. It's an app you can download on your phone to text back and forth with people from different countries. You have premium room service that's included. And then you also have dedicating seating at the shows, which if you saw my Celebrity Xcel review, you know that seating can be a little tight at the shows. So this is a huge perk that in the main theater, you can just walk in and get your seat. So let's go through those perks and talk about whether or not they're worth it. If your cruise leaves from Fort Lauderdale, you'll have access to this exclusive pre-embarkation lounge and your own security line. It has a small setup with drinks and snacks, but the process is so fast, we barely had time to have any. So the Pre-Embarkation Lounge, I think, is a nice perk. You can get quite a bit of a lineup outside of the Celebrity Terminal right when embarkation opens, so it is nice to skirt that line. But otherwise, if you're a person that usually arrives afternoon, embarkation at Fort Lauderdale generally goes very quickly. But again, if you're a person who does not like waiting in lines at all, you're going to love this extra perk in Fort Lauderdale, having your special line, your special security, and your special lounge. This is the exclusive Retreat Lounge. There is quite a bit of seating in here. Those windows do open, so you have a great ocean view throughout the day. There's a small bar. There are sodas and waters you can grab and go with. There's also the concierge desk here. They have treats throughout the day, charcuterie. You'll see the breads. They also have different hot appetizers if it's right before dinner. There's potato chips and nuts, and they also put on special events. I hate this lounge. I have to be honest, I hate it. So on one side, you have the concierge desk, which usually has someone there complaining about something rather loudly. Then you have the small buffet, which is nice. I mean, it's nice to have a place to come get a snack. Then you have a tiny little bar. We went in there a couple times. We sat down. There was never enough crew to serve the people in there. The bartender was running around trying to get special requests, service people. It's a bad experience. And it's not a perk. And we spent all of our time at other bars located throughout the ship just because it's not that fun. Even like when we went to dinner one night, and I'll talk more about Luminae later, we went to dinner and they told us they were going to give us a pager that only worked in the retreat lounge. And we said, no, we're not going to go sit down there. So we're like, we'll just check back in half an hour. So we went down to our favorite bar, World Class Bar, and had a cocktail and then came back up to get our table. And she just kind of kept track that we had been in line. But it's not good and not a reason to book the retreat. This is the exclusive Retreat Sundeck. It's actually two decks. These are the Edge Villas. You'll notice they look a little bit different than on the Ascent. But just outside the Edge Villas, there is a sun deck available for everyone. This is more quiet, a little bit easier to find shade. As you head upstairs, you're going to find a whirlpool, more seating, more umbrellas. This is behind the bar, so more midship than the bar. This is also an easier place to find a seat. Here is the bar. And then these tables are available for lunch service. I'm not thrilled with the lunch menu. It's very plain, not very inventive, but I guess it's just something to have delivered to your lounge chair. The pool is very nice. It was kept a good temperature. One thing to know about these seats is that it's often very windy since this is all the way at the front of the ship, so the umbrellas may not go up. That does make some of the shaded areas a little bit of a hot commodity. And one more whirlpool. The Sundeck is a great perk, especially if you're going to be on a warm weather itinerary. Having this separate special area that's quiet, they don't have a lot of live music playing. There's not going to be a game that breaks out in front of you, but you can still get sun. That is a big value to a lot of people. I do have to be honest though and tell you that we had better service on the pool deck than we did at the Retreat Sundeck. I don't know if they're still trying to figure out the staffing. Again, we sailed within the first few sailings of the Excel, so they might still be working that out, but we definitely had better drink service down at the pool deck than we did at the retreat at the sun deck. We had to like keep getting up to go to the bar to get drinks, which is fine. I mean, first world problems, right? That's not the worst thing that's ever happened. But I think when you're paying a premium, you're expecting a higher level service than you get in other areas of the ship. The other big problem, and I mentioned it before with the retreat, is lunch on port days. It really needs to be leveled up. Other cruise lines actually open their exclusive suite restaurants for lunch every day. So it doesn't matter if it's a port day or a sea day, you can have a sit down a la carte lunch with a beautiful menu every single day. And I just think they really need to look at that retreat snack menu and upgrade it, offer some better options, because a lot of these sailings to the Caribbean, most people in the retreat are not getting off the ship. Luminae is the exclusive restaurant for retreat guests. It's open for breakfast and dinner every day and lunch on sea days. Each dinner starts with an amuse-bouche, which were usually our favorite bites of the whole meal. I absolutely loved the kale, feta, and watermelon salad. I also enjoyed the short rib appetizer. I got a double portion to have it as my main entree. The octopus was pretty good, but I got to tell you, I think that octopus at Cyprus in the main dining room is better. They had a great Thai dish, a Thai noodle curry dish that was really well flavored. Skip the lobster roll at lunch. It has carrots in it. It just will skip it. But the pasta on board was terrific. A lot of it was handmade. I love the burrata. This definitely was the level of something you'd find at a specialty restaurant. And then here was just another of the pasta dishes with sausage and broccoli rabe. Breakfast was delightful. It was so beautiful pulling into the port each morning with the sun shining in. Those are the grits. This is one of their waffle specials. Very, very good. If I was a foodie, would I book the retreat solely to have access to Luminae? No, I would book a balcony with the unlimited specialty dining package. Having said that, Luminae is a beautiful experience. Breakfast is so lovely. I actually like breakfast better than dinner because on the ship you have so many great specialty restaurants where you can get so much great food. But breakfast is really special in Luminae. We had lovely dinners. The crew did a tremendous job. It was excellent service. The food was good. It just wasn't like specialty restaurant good. And I don't think it has to be. I think it is nice enough to have your own dedicated small dining room where the crew gets to know you and you have a very good personalized service experience. Now, I know it seems like I'm complaining a lot on this video, but I want to give it to you real because this is a lot of money we're talking about. And I want to make sure that you know exactly what you're getting, that you have the right expectations when you make this choice. And that's the kind of thing I help my clients with is going through these pros and cons and figuring out what's going to be the best fit for this upcoming cruise vacation. But now let's talk about the reason I would book the retreat over and over and over again. And that is the Celebrity Suite. Welcome to Celebrity Suite 12121. As you walk in, right behind you will be a small closet. Now, this is a closet for the person who is sleeping on the couch. I love that they have their own storage space. You can also see that's where you can find your robe and slippers. You can access the bathroom from two different doors, one from the living room. You can see here there's the toilet and the sink. The door closes to the area with the sink and the shower. I love that this is a real medicine cabinet. This would be so convenient for having additional people in the cabin. As you make your way through the cabin, there's lots of storage space for items. So you find a lot of cupboards. There's cupboards on that side as well. So if you bring a lot of stuff, you have places to put it. We brought our own hooks to dry our bathing suits. Water is replaced daily, so we always had 6. It has the standard charging box, and then you do get an included mini bar. This can be customized. We had Coke, Diet Coke, water. We got a bottle of wine at embarkation. You also get beer and sparkling water. Here at the mirror, the hair dryer is in a drawer in the bathroom, but I brought it out here to make it easier to use. There's also a vanity with more storage available underneath. first look out at the balcony. I love that it's a full-size table and chairs. We really enjoyed having room service out here. That was phenomenal. We also would have the butler bring us snacks in the afternoon and be able to sit and enjoy them out here. There's a chaise lounge. I wish this was chairs, very comfortable, like either chaise lounge or chairs, or just an easier way to sit together. It is a large overhang, which was very nice to be out of the sun. Back in the living room, this couch will turn into a bed. I think this is fine for one adult or two kids who don't mind sharing. You do have your own television. It works via remote or via the app. There is a door, a sliding door that can shut, but it would still let the light in. So it's not going to get completely dark in the main bedroom if someone has a light on in the living room. You see there's bedside tables on either side. There are outlets on either side as well. You have a long closet, so a double closet here with plenty of storage. Next to it is another half closet with the safe and two drawers. There's controls for the temperature, a separate one for the living room and a separate one for the main bedroom. And then here's the shower and another sink. So again, more storage to keep your personal items. Again, great if it was like two people and then another person out on the couch. And this is a shower tub combo. Not my favorite, but the jets worked really well. I do like that it has a glass door. A lot of times those shower tub combos can leak and get water everywhere, but I appreciate having the door. And then here's us heading back into the bathroom to the main area of the Celebrity Suite. Isn't that a great suite? The only slight comment I can make about it is I really wish you could see the ocean from the bed. That's it. That's my only complaint. I absolutely love that suite, and I would book the retreat again and again to stay in it. And it also comes with some great little perks. One perk we really enjoyed was having a dedicated butler we could communicate with via WhatsApp. This was our breakfast spread one morning, our snack spread one afternoon. We could pre-order snacks, let them know when we were coming back. The room steward and our butler did an incredible job decorating for my birthday. They really made the trip very special. The dedicated butler we could communicate with via WhatsApp was particular to the Celebrity Suite. Before, we have stayed in Sky Suites, and we didn't have that. It was a team of butlers that you would just kind of call whoever was on call to help you. But having this dedicated butler we could text with was a game changer. He would go and get us our favorite juices from Spice. He would go to Cafe Albiaco and get the lattes that we wanted. We could pre-order our breakfast. We could be on shore and be like, hey, we're going to be back from our shore excursion in about an hour. Do you mind having a charcuterie board and some sparkling waters ready for us? It was incredible. It really made you feel like a princess, if I'm being honest. And for that, that was a huge benefit. So would I book the retreat again? I would book it again in a Celebrity Suite or above, because having the much larger suite and that dedicated butler service was the game changer for us, and that made it worth it. I don't know that I would book a Sky Suite again. So I don't know if you guys saw my Celebrity Ascent review of a Sky Suite in the retreat. Now that we've seen like how personalized and how special butler service can be, I don't know that if I would book a Sky Suite again. I think I would probably either do a balcony with an unlimited specialty dining package or do the Celebrity Suite. But I would probably skip a Sky Suite. I don't know. What do you think? Do you usually stay in Sky Suites? Do you usually stay Celebrity Suite or above? Let me know in the comments what you think. And then here's some videos YouTube and I thought you might like.